Many of the peer conflict slash bully issues that have arisen in our school in the last couple of years started on social media. So we're trying to get ahead of that here at Needham, like with this educating parents. Make sure you're looking at your children's phone, not just giving them free reign. And that just creates a lot of little fires for us to try to put out. So we're trying to educate those parents and educate our students that what happens online doesn't stay online. It comes to school.
Yeah. Excellent tips. You're listening to the smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. This is our district talk segment where we interview district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday shine online. This episode is brought to you by our smartsocial.com VIP, Very Informed Parent program, which helps parents in every single community around the country to engage their students with teen-led video lessons, whether they're shown in the classroom or at home. Parents also stay one step ahead with our premium parent newsletter. And in addition, every parent discovers hidden features of trending apps on their teens' phones at our 54 plus live parent and student events each year where they feel engaged. You can click the link below to chat with one of our team members if you want a free pass to our VIP program to support your community with our smartsocial.com resources. If you're a district leader who has a success story, we would love to feature you on a future episode. Click the links below to reach out to our team. Now, let's get back to the interview.
Hello, my name is Dylan Purlee, principal at Needham Elementary School in Franklin, Indiana. That puts me about 30 minutes south of Indianapolis, a town that you might be more familiar with. Our elementary is preschool through fourth grade, serving about 360 students. Our district, Franklin Community Schools, has 8 schools, 5 elementaries, intermediate, middle, and high school level, and we serve just around 5,000 students.
Okay, my name is Deron Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of School Engagement for Poughkeepsie City School District, which is in Poughkeepsie, New York, Mid-Hudson Valley region. We're about an hour and a half away from New York City. We have approximately 4,400 students in our district, 1 middle school, 1 high school, and 5 elementary schools, with one of them being a pre-K and K early learning center.
And Deron, how is your district handling social media use on campus and off campus?
So on campus, a lot of our teachers have now embraced the social media platforms, using it part of their classrooms, especially with the TikTok challenges and TikTok lessons. So they've been using that as one of the things. Also, we also use a lot of the YouTube conversations. And then, of course, now that the biggest thing where I'm at is Snapchat. So a lot of the teachers are using Snapchat to conversate with the students and having them actually make blogs. Off campus, what we have subscribed to is a Gaggle, which is now an alert system. So students are able to use their technology to send in any alerts or warning systems to our school, or threats, or even certain situations where a friend of them might be feeling a certain type of way. They can send in a secret message to the school district, and it gets alerted to that building principal that that's something that they need to look into as far as the student's social emotional learning well-being. So it's really becoming a newer thing, especially with our teachers that are embracing the social media things and not taking it as a negative thing. And then, of course, Twitter. A lot of teachers are now using Twitter as a way to communicate back and forth with their students, or having them write tweets and doing hashtag attendance counts, hashtag on time, hashtag lunchtime, things like that. So it's been really good. Of course, some of the things through social media outside of the campus, off campus, do fall into the school, but we have a very close knit network with our police department and other departments in throughout our county. Because a lot of the social media, I don't know if you were experiencing this in Indiana, but some of the social media threats were coming from other places, and then it was just being copy and pasted by students in the school. So we were able, with the help of our police and law enforcement, to get that information to say, like, no, this really originated in a whole nother part of the country, and not take it seriously, but to look, not to be on such high alert, because it's just a trend that's going on. So off campus, working with our local government and our local police department, was able to help us not shut down as much as far as threats that were coming to the school.
That's pretty helpful. Dylan, as a principal, how is your school handling social media that some students might use off campus, on campus? There's also parents that you're integrating with and interfacing with. How are you working with that?
Yeah. We parents, I'm glad you mentioned that because that's our main audience from this elementary perspective. Those are the folks that we're the customers and the consumers that we're trying to reach and educate about good and bad things that can happen online and with their students. So we're obviously we use the smart social with our parents to help educate them about different apps and programs that their kids could find online. We're also using it, trying to be proactive with it. Like, so our school has obviously a Facebook page, a Twitter account, and we're promoting the positive things there. So it's painting a picture of our school. We feel like we're kind of getting to tell our story. So we're trying to tell our story online before the kids get home, which that they could then reiterate, oh yeah, today this did happen at the spelling bee. Just really trying to fill it with everything positive to generate that message about our school. What I did notice also is, and this is throughout our district, because I talked with district level folks as well, many of the peer conflict slash bully issues that have arisen in our school in the last couple of years started on social media, whether that be a messaging app or a platform like Snapchat or something like that. So we're trying to get ahead of that here at Needham, like with this educating parents. Make sure you're looking at your children's phone, not just giving them free reign. And then that just creates a lot of little fires for us to try to put out. So we're trying to educate those parents and educate our students that what happens online doesn't stay online. It comes to school.
Yeah. Excellent tips. So, Duran, back over to you. Can you provide some examples of how some of the students in your district have used social media in a positive way, in a productive way that might have benefited themselves, their community? I'll give you an example. Are some students building little websites? Are some students communicating about, hey, there's a huge pep rally going on this Friday. We want to get everybody out here. Are some students highlighting their cultural clubs, their robotics projects? Are some students getting ready for college by researching and putting their projects online? Can you give us an idea in your community? How are you embracing this to help students launch into their future?
Well, you stole a couple of ours right there, Josh. But yeah, our students, especially on our senior secondary level, the students are using the social apps exactly for a remind is one of them to communicate with each other about games, about coming out. Let's say it's a home game, it's a pep rally or anything like that. They're putting it out to all their friends to let them know or to even attend themselves. So if I play basketball, send out a message like, make sure you come out and support the teams. For the college readiness thing, one of the things they're also using is they have a scholarship app, and a lot of students have been sharing that with each other to let the students know, hey, I went on this app and they have a whole bunch of scholarships, and you want to try this out to use for yourself. And then at our elementary level, the students are actually using Class Dojo to communicate and put things out themselves, as well as the parents.
That's great. Dylan, walk us through what are some positive uses of social media? I know your students are a lot younger because they're in elementary, but a lot of kiddos are getting phones younger and younger in a lot of communities. What are some ways that you're encouraging or seeing positive use of these devices or these apps?
Again, with the clubs and with the communication about events, we still have some, elementary basketball leagues, things like that. So it's very similar to like a high school level. It's just at a little smaller scope. But the kids that do have those messaging opportunities, they share that, they engage in it. We use like YouTube for our morning announcements once a week at school, where we highlight good things that are happening at our school. And it's kid driven, it's kid focused. And it gives them I think, a positive taste, or just a nibble, but a positive taste of how powerful social media can be. They know that. They see how many subscribers we have or how many views a video has, but it kind of lets them see that, and this is an opportunity, something you could do in your career. If you want to get into video editing and broadcasting, this is just a quick little preview of that. So that's one way that I see that we can do that at the elementary level.
That's great. Duran, what advice do you have for other districts who might be struggling with issues related to social media use?
I would say educate the families, of course, and educate the students on the proper uses and embrace it. Don't, if you're trying to fight something that's here, it's always going to be butting heads. And I also would advise, like I said, to bring in if your local municipalities or if you have SROs or anything so that they can help educate the parents and let them know some of the, because there's some hidden apps, of course, that students will use that parents might not know about. And our local police department here was able to do a workshop with families and give us like a whole breakdown of these are the apps. And then our SRO sent out an email to all of the schools saying, if you see this on your phone, this is something that's like considered a hidden app. So just educating families and making sure students are educating themselves on it. And then, of course, now that a lot of the digital things are changing with the rules and regulations, even at least in New York, making sure that the parents are aware of that, because some of the things that are done now socially can be really detrimental to students if they use it in a negative way.
And Dylan, what advice do you have for other principals who might be struggling with issues relating to social media use?
Yeah. As a principal, I was struggling with this because I was, as I said earlier, putting out fires. I was on the reactive end, and I wish I had this resource, to provide parents or a toolkit. And that's when I actually connected with Josh here at Smart Social. And I said, seems to be a proactive opportunity for me to, at least in the reactive moment, say, parents, here's a resource. Here's something that will teach you way more than I know. If you would hop on that site, you can find out about why these apps aren't good for your son or daughter when they're only 10 years old. But what that's led to is more education to our parents proactively this year, where we've had more parents join before their students make a poor choice, before they decide to buy their child a brand new iPhone 14 or whatever it is. They think about it, they stop and think. So educating parents proactively about technology, about all things technology, the device itself, and then all the Pandora's box that it opens once they get that technology. And then to help get more of those parents involved in understanding it is share your successes. When you have an opportunity where you've thwarted something, or you have a success story where a kid's doing something really positive with technology, then share it and make it a big deal. And then that gets more parents thinking about it and engaged in it.
Excellent tips. I want to thank both of you for coming out. Everybody else who's watching or listening to this, you can click the links below to subscribe. Make sure that you forward this on to a friend or some parents, because we're always trying to educate parents to get ahead of some of this. Thank you to both of our educators here today for being a part of this. As always, make sure to keep it light, bright, and polite, because our kids are watching what we're doing on social media. Thanks for listening to our smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. This was our District Talk segment where we interview school district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday launch into their future by shining online. This episode was brought to you by our smartsocial.com VIP program. It's called the Very Informed Parent Program, which helps you engage your students with teen-led video lessons. Stay one step ahead with our premium parent newsletter and discover hidden features on trending apps on teens' phones and our 54 plus live parent and student friendly events every single year. You can click on the link below to chat with one of our team members if you want a free pass to our VIP program to support your community with our smartsocial.com resources. And if you're a district leader who has a success story, we would love to feature you on a future episode. You can click the links below to reach out. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day.